Marcus Browne. We'll go from one Marcus to another Marcus. Marcus Browne, a very good-looking southpaw, undefeated, is getting ready to take on Radiovici Kolevic. Now, that is a tough, tough name. Also a tougher opponent for Marcus as well. That's PBC. And, of course, we had the pleasure of talking to Chris Algieri yesterday. Now we get Marcus, who's putting his undefeated record on the line. Scintillating knockout power, kind enough to join us for a couple moments on a Friday. How are you, Marcus?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Just ready to rock and roll for next week.
Good, good. I appreciate a couple moments. Yeah, this is a big one. Vacant WBC US and BC lightweight title. Of course, that'll be April 16th at the Barclays Center. That card is absolutely stacked. I want to go back a little bit to some of your most recent fights because I go to your fight against Aaron Pryor. And I thought that fight, and again, expand on this with me if you will, especially for a young fighter, it's always good to get rounds. But the one thing I noticed about that fight is you had patience. And I know sometimes with some fights, especially some of the guys you fought early on, they want to grab you a little bit, they want to clinch, they want to try to frustrate you, maybe get on your skin. And a couple times we could have saw that bothered you a little bit. But against Pryor, you showed a lot more patience. Is that something as a young fighter you've been working on more?
Definitely. That's one thing that comes in with time and growth and just, maturing as a fighter and as a man. And I've gotten that aspect of the game, and I'm just, I just, go in there and just, do whatever I have to do, and I just work off the fly, take care of business each and every round.
How about the fact, though, you get some rounds in, too? You went 10 rounds against Cornelius White. You got some good rounds in with Pryor. How important to a young fighter's growth is getting in those rounds?
Oh, it's very important. I mean, I'm not sure who became a world champion and didn't get those kind of rounds in. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's definitely important to become on the road to becoming a world champion. You have to understand that you've gone down that road before, and it's not, new territory.
What do you know about your opponent? Again, here's a guy that, you can look at the track record. You can look at some of his opponents. He comes in with some knockout power as well, but I always think it's tough to fight a southpaw. You're a southpaw. There's a tricky aspect to that regard. I mean, have you watched any film? Have you watched any video on him?
Yeah, I definitely did watch video on him. He's young, strong competitor. Throws, a lot of straight 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Come back with his hooks a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he's definitely game. You know what I'm saying? So he's a live guy. He's there. He's gonna come to try and take my O, and that's what we're definitely avoiding.
I look at you. You're just 25, so you're starting to hit your peak. But you're 25, where you've got 17 fights on your belt. And again, I go back to with young fighters, especially. I guess it's maybe a little different with you because of your amateur background with the Golden Gloves and the Olympics and the trials and everything. I would look at you and say, you know what? He's not a young fighter because of your amateur background. What were you able to take with your vast amateur background that you've been able to use to help you be successful in the pros?
Most importantly, me just not wanting to feel I feel, and again that I felt, losing in the Olympics. Because, losing is something that I was never really used to coming up as an amateur fighter. And most importantly, I mean, like I said before, I think fighting in front of 10,000 people in the Olympic Games is, something that a lot of fighters don't ever get to do until they're actually fighting in front of 10,000 people or more. You know what I'm saying? But I've experienced that in front of a crowd that was, definitely cheering, definitely against me. So, I mean, I felt it, and, I've taken that experience and I've, ran with it and just, took it on to my professional career. And come next Saturday, I can't wait to take care of business in front of my hometown friends and family and, the new fans that I'm going to obtain after this fight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just ready.
How about the activity early on as a young fighter? I mean, again, you can't put a price on that. 4 or 5 bouts within a calendar year. You were extremely active in 2013. You had about 4 or 5 in 2014. Now, 2015. How active would you like to be in this calendar year? And look, I never ask a fighter to look past his opponent or a fight, but in a perfect world, how many fights do you see yourself having this year?
In a perfect world, most importantly, me personally, I really don't like to look past no guy. So, I just really like to take care of business, like, and whatever's in front of me, because you never know with boxing. And you can say whatever you want to say. You can say I won 10 fights this year, but if you don't take care of the fight in front of you, those 10 fights are going to be a pipe dream. You know what I'm saying? But, I'm going to stay as busy as Al Heyman keeps me. You know what I mean? And I'm healthy. I'm strong. I'm ready to go. So I'm just ready to take care of Hot Rod next week, and we'll look past, and look towards the future after we get this W and we do it impressively. Well, then, that's all I'm focused on right now.
Yeah, then the interview is going to be cut short. You just you ruined my last two questions for you. No, I'm just teasing.
I apologize.
Well,
I'm so sorry.
I'm just messing with you.
I'm so sorry.
Where do you put yourself as far as the competition in the division? Obviously, pound for pound, everyone looks at Andre Ward, but where do you think you stack up?
I'm right up there, but first and foremost, I have to, take care of business and make it look good, and make myself a household name in this sport. And I have to do that starting next week with an undefeated guy that's coming to take my O. That's not gonna let his O go away easily. And make an imprint on that fight and on the people's hearts after that performance. And I guess you guys can do the judging from there. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to say I'm the best. I'm not here to say I'm the worst. I'm just here to take care of business and have you guys tell me I'm the
best. Two more before. Look, you're a seasoned pro already with the media. Two more before I let you get out of here. How'd you come up with the nickname, Sir?
Being in London, kind of like, I always live by the mantra, self-praise is no praise. But in London, I had to do it. I mean, I was in the Olympics, and I just, knighted myself. Mm-hmm. I mean, hopefully one day I can really get knighted. Yeah.
I was thinking,
who the heck is this kid?
Yeah, exactly. Himself, right? You're not supposed to give yourself a nickname. You're supposed to let other people do that.
I know, man, but I just felt like it was appropriate.
Hey, I think
I try to be a gentleman.
Yeah, and you earn that right. I was thinking also on the line too, and you might want to borrow this too if you want to. It might be a little too cliche, but what about downtown Marcus Browne?
Oh my God! You know how many times I've heard this?
Then I'm not original. Then I'd forget it, man. I'm just trying to help a young fighter out. That's all.
Oh my God! Downtown Marcus Browne. Oh my God! Yo, you know how many people told me I should use that?
All right. I'll come up with something else. else.
God. When you do, call me back and we'll figure it out.
Listen, I appreciate it. Before I let you get out of here, I know you said you don't like to look ahead, but again, to me, I look at a title to title, whether it's a regional belt, whether it's affiliated with the big boys. This is the WBC, USNBC. So a belt is a belt as far as a lightweight title. A win.
I want that belt.
Exactly. A win for you would mean what, and what does it do for your career going forward?
It'll definitely put me in the top 10 and it'll have me in that mix. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly where we need to be at this point in my boxing career. So, and that belt is pretty too. So, and it's part of the green belt family.
That's
if
right.
You're not familiar with that.
Yep.
Muhammad Ali has had the green belt and
Correct.
all those other kind of good guys. You know what I'm saying? So,
yep.
It's in that family, and that's exactly the family I would want to be in. So this is the beginning of something great.
All right, they call him Sir. Do not call him Downtown Marcus Browne. Hey, listen, I appreciate a couple moments. Best of luck April 16th at the Barclays Center. Good luck to you, and hopefully we'll talk again.
Thank you, brother. God bless.
All right, you too. Be well. Marcus Browne.